Hello students, so today we are going to continue with the 14th chapter from history civics portion, that is the state government. So we are going to study in this chapter with the federal government. First we will know what is the federal government. All the states in one country have their own government and are independent to conduct their own affairs, but are united under the central government. See, federal government, it is one type of form of the democratic government. In this, the country is divided into the states, and every state has its own government that is elected by the people, as well as there is another one government, that is the government which is effective for whole the country. It means at the same time in one country, everywhere the two governments are in effect. That one is the central government, that is also known as the union government, and the state government. So such type of form of the government is known as the federal government. So we can take the example of our own country, India. India is having the federal form of government. So here in India there is one government, union government, okay, which is headed by the prime minister, and there is another government for the every state, that is the state government, that is headed by the chief minister. So they at the same time that both the governments are effective in the country. One is for the whole country and one is for the state only. So such type of form of government is known as the federal government. So India is one of the federal countries of the world. The government for entire nation, as I already told you, that is known as the union government or central government, okay, that functions for the whole nation. The government for every state is known as the state government. So the states in India, we can take the example Maharashtra state, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, UP, Jammu Kashmir. We can take the example of Rajasthan, Gujarat, okay. All these states are having their own government. That governments are known as the state governments, okay. So the Constitution of India has set the limits for both the governments to function it smoothly, okay. So how it is possible that both the governments are equally effective in the same area? But it is possible, it is made possible with the Constitution of India, because the Constitution had set their limitations. So what are the limitations of the state government and what are the limitations of the central government? It is already made in provisions of the Constitution, and both the governments are following their own limitations. Therefore these two governments are functioning very smoothly and effectively together in India. So we here in the chapter, as per the chapter name, we are going to study in detail about the state government, okay. So state government in India, India is a large country and it is having 28 states and 9 union territories, okay. Earlier it was 29 states and only 7 union territories were there, but in before few days, that one state, that is divided into 2 union territories, and that is the Jammu Kashmir. Jammu Kashmir state is divided into Jammu and Ladakh, okay, and both these are splitted and both they are made as the union territories. So 7 plus 2 are added, that 9 union territories, and 29 states were there, 1 minus that it became 28 states. So 28 states and 9 union territories are there in India. State governments are formed by the elected representatives. This means for the representatives, elections are held in that particular state to form the government, and as per we have studied in the previous chapter that the majority party forms the government of the state, okay, the party which get more number of representatives elected, that forms the government. The union territories are governed by the union or the central government, okay. So all the 28 states in India are having their separate governments, own governments, but the 9 union territories are under control and they are governed by union government or the central government. Therefore these territories are known as the union territories. The state government considers the needs and requirements of their respective states and frames the policies, okay. So the state government, it looks towards the welfare of the people in that state. It looks towards, it considers the needs, what are the needs of people, what are the requirements of the people in that states are there, because in India there is diversity. You already have studied in the previous standard. Every state has diverse from each other, okay. So if you go to the South India, if you go to the coastal areas of the states, if you go to the north side of the India, if you go towards the east of India, west of India, it means every side the states are different, their culture is different, their requirements, their needs, the climatic changes are, everything it varies from state to state in India. So therefore the needs of the people lying in that state are different. So therefore these all governments, they looks towards the needs and requirements of the people residing in their state, and they forms the policies of the government. So here we are now going to turn towards the organs of the state government. So generally the state government is made up of the 3 organs. That the first one is the legislature, second the executive, and the third one is the judiciary. So these are the 3 organs of the state government, how the state government functions. So the first that we will see, what is the function of the first organ, that is the legislature. That legislature makes the laws. It makes the laws with the consent of all the elected representatives in Vidhan Sabha or Vidhan Parishad, that is legislative council and legislative assembly, okay. So that is known as the legislature. What is the function of legislature? To make the law. Then the second organ of the state government is the executive. What is the function of this organ? That it organ enforces the laws. It means implementation of that laws made by legislature. So the executive is responsible for the enforcement of laws or implementation of laws, okay. What is this executive? This executive means the council of ministers, okay, that is executive. So this implements the laws, whatever laws are passed by the legislature. And the third portion, the third organ of the state government is the judiciary. Okay, what is the function of judiciary? Judiciary resolves the conflicts according the laws. If it means the laws are made by the provisions of the constitution, if any constitutional provision is getting spoiled because of the law or not, so that is checked by the government, by the judiciary. If anyone takes action against that law, so that judiciary makes the justice in between these. Okay, it means either the laws are constitutional or not, or any conflict if it is created, that is resolved by the judiciary. Then already that we have studied, there are the two governments of the country. Okay, in the country, that is the union government and the state government. So in the first slide we have studied that the constitution had made the provisions to make this working smooth of all the both the government. So that provision, out of that provisions, one important provision that is made up by the constitution, that is the division of powers. Okay, the constitution had divided the powers of state government and central government. So in what way these powers are divided? These powers are divided with the lists. Constitution has made some lists, and in these lists, what is included in these lists? In these lists some subjects are included, that subjects which are for the interest of the state government and union government. Okay, so in which sectors, in which areas the union government can work, in which areas the state government can work. Okay, so in which areas the union government can work, that list is known as the union list. Then the list in which the subjects are related to the state government, on which the state government can function and make laws or enforce the laws, that is known as the state list. And the third list is there, in which list the subjects are mentioned which are for the interest of both the government, union government as well as the state government. So both the government can make law or enforce law in the subjects which are included in the concurrent list. That list is known as the concurrent list. So we are going to study in detail with the few examples of these lists. So here that the example, the first one, that is the union list. See, the union list, that are subjects mentioned in this union list are subjects of the national importance, and on these subjects only the union government can make law. Okay, so only the union government has right to make the law. So subjects are defense. Okay, it means related to the security of the borders of the country. So that is the right of union government, that union government can make law or enforce law in this subject. Foreign policies, it means what kind of relations we have to maintain with the other countries in the world. So such type of policies that are formed by the government, union government only. It means that foreign affairs are included in the union list. Insurance, okay, insurances that are given to the people by different countries, okay, different companies in the country. Currency and coinage, okay, to decide the currency, to cancel the currency, or to print the currency, coinage. Okay, so this all related matters are handled only by the union government. Banking, okay, so all over the country, how much of the banks are there that are just going under the provisions that are made up by the union government, and to change about that, that is also the right of union government. So union government only can make the laws on the lists, on the subjects that are included in the union list. The second list, that is the state list. Okay, so the state list, the subjects which are mentioned in the state list, on which only the state government can make the law. Okay, so matters of the state and local importance, which are the subjects which are important for the social local level. Okay, that subjects are there involved in the included in the state list. So we can take the example here, public health and sanitation. Okay, that is the subject which is the interest of local people, importance of local area. So therefore the state government can make the policies and laws and schemes regarding this. Public order and police, okay, to maintain the law and order, and to maintain the peace in state. Okay, regarding that, whatever the laws and schemes or rules are made, that are made by the state government. Then the water supply, irrigation. Okay, so these schemes are made by the state government. Agriculture, to make the different agricultural schemes. Okay, then local government means to make the rules regulations of the local government, local self government also it is known, that it means gram panchayat, then panchayat samiti, jilla parishad. You may have studied in the previous standard, okay, about this, that institutions are known as the local government. And the cities are having municipal corporations, then municipal councils. Okay, so these are also called the local government. So to make the laws, to enforce the laws, or to make some changes in these laws, so all these are the rights of the state government. So why it is? Because the local government, this subject is included in the state list. Okay, so now the next, the third list, that is the concurrent list. So the in the concurrent list, the subject of the significant towards both the governments, okay, local government as well as the central government, they can make the laws over this. So the economic and social planning, okay, the state government can make its own economic and social planning. Okay, then welfare of labor, okay, laborers, employees that are working in the state, okay, for the welfare, they can, both the government can make their own schemes, they can make their own laws. Education, okay, regarding education, government can make their own rules and regulations. Then newspapers, okay, and then electricity. So for that, the government can make their own laws, enforcement of laws the government can make, the state government also, and the central government also. Factories, okay, it means the regarding industrial sectors. So IDCs are there, industrial development corporations, that work under the state government. Okay, so it means either of the government can make law on the subjects that are included in the concurrent list. But here the one important thing that should be noticed and keep in your mind, that in the concurrent list, if suppose one law is made by the state government regarding the education, but on the same subject, if the central government had made its another law that is not equivalent and that is in opposition of the state government's laws, so in this case the law made by the state government get cancelled automatically, and the state government had to follow the law which is made by the central government. It means here the more rights or more powers are there in the hands of union government. So, it means whatever the law rule it is made by union government is called as a supreme, and the law that is made by the state government that get cancelled if union government makes another law regarding that. So, in this way here in the federal government, in the federal system of government, such type of dividation of the authorities, dividation of the power is made by the constitution, and both the governments are following their limitations and they are forming the laws and they are working as per the limitations made by the provisions of the constitution. So, such type of two governments are functioning at the same time in the federal state at the same time very smoothly because of the division of powers. Okay. So, in this way here in this session we have discussed about the federal government, then division of powers, okay, and organs of the state government. So, in the coming session that we will continue directly with the formation of the state government, how the state government is there. So, thank you for attending the session.